Hey everyone, welcome back to Frontline. Jay here with another review. Today I'm reviewing Avengers number 0. Now this issue is actually 6 prequel stories for the books that all fall underneath the Avengers tree. Kind of like what Spider-Man did at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man. So this is going to contain some major spoilers for all those books. So if you haven't read this issue yet, pause this video, read the issue, then come back and listen to this. Alright, if you stuck around, that means that you've already read this issue or you just don't care about the spoilers. So the first story is the Squadron Supreme. Now this is actually an umbrella story. So the title of this story is Supremacy. It's written by James Robinson, pencils by Leonard, Kirk, and inks by Paul Neary. The Squadron Supreme are taking out a Skrull base on Earth, while Nighthawk briefs them all on their mission and on each of the Avengers teams. I really love the concept of this story because it's, like I said, an umbrella story. This story is woven throughout all the rest of them that are going to be followed by it, and it takes place between each and every one of them. And the way James Robinson worked it in so masterfully, it has to be applauded because it really seems like one person wrote this whole issue. And it wasn't. Each story has different writers, except for 2 has the same writer, which I'll get to later on. But James Robinson did an awesome story. The Squadron Supreme are not going to be the typical Avengers type team. They're going to be doing the hard shit that has to be done. You know, they're going to take out people. They're not going to be putting on kid gloves either. They're going to do whatever it has to be done to shut these people down. And if they have to someday take on one of the Avengers team, well, that's what they're prepping for in this very issue. The story, I'm giving 4 3/4 stars. Just great. I would have loved to know more of the characters. That's why I didn't get a complete 5 stars. The art was really good too. I love Leonard Kirk's art here. He did a phenomenal job. My only real concern is the design thing. At times it was a little too dark. But I think it was because they're supposed to be working from the shadows and they're throwing in, you know, all this other imagery at you. But it's also, I don't like Nighthawk's design. It's way too much Crime Syndicate Owlman. Like, it looks too much like that, or like a Talon from the DC Universe, you know. It doesn't really look like Nighthawk. But I love the art there. Like, the drawing of the design is phenomenal, but I just don't like that it's with him. Okay, the second story is from the all-new, all-different Avengers. The title is Eidetic, and it's written by Waid, and the art is by Mahmud Asaar. The Vision goes to Wanda, you know, the Scarlet Witch, and tells her he is being haunted by the ghosts from his past and takes drastic actions to solve it. This one was, again, phenomenally written. I loved it. The Vision is going through like this emotional thing where his emotions are bringing up these memories, and he's having a hard time discerning what's real and what's a memory. So his solution: take out the emotions. So Wanda is left there with the Vision, who has no emotional attachment to her whatsoever now. Waid did a phenomenal job, but I would have loved more about the whole team, or just the younger version of this, the younger members of this team. It's great to hear about these older people, but the big draw to this book, I think, for a lot of people, are the youth characters, and I think that's missing. So I'm giving the story 4.5 stars. The art, Mahmud Asaar does a great job here. Really brings out some emotion with the characters. My only problem is at times it lack detail, so I'm giving the art 4.25 stars. Next story is A-Force, and the title is In the Beginning. It's written by Willow Wilson, art by Victor Ibanez. Captain Marvel and her new planetary watch group called Alpha Flight take out a hostile creature that ripped a hole through space-time before they meet the new character, Singularity, who we met in Secret Wars. Now, the story was really interesting here, but I think again, this suffers from the same as the last story, where we don't get enough of the characters. We get Captain Marvel, and we get some new characters that we don't know. I would have loved to seen how other characters fit in here, like She-Hulk and Medusa, and all those characters. I want to see what was up with them, but we didn't. We just got Captain Marvel. I understand it's a certain amount of pages, but I still would have loved like a team moment for that. And the art, really good, really solid art, but at times, again, the faces, I don't know. I think they kind of looked a little manly on the women. Like, it was just a little off. Something was off on them for me. So I'm giving the art 4.25 stars. The next story is about the new Avengers. Title of it is Everything is New, written by Ewing, who does another story later on, and the art is by Gerardo Sandoval. We get a glimpse into the stories that will be coming up from a SHIELD agent's memories, is of him being on the new Avengers Island. The military are about to attack them. Hawkling is named King of Space. Songbird says someone on the team is a traitor. Then Clint takes credit for that, but he's only joking, or is he? The White Tiger Spirit tells Ava that it wants vengeance on her. Then we get the Planetary Operating System, POD, and we see alternate timelines of other Earths. And we're seeing like different Captain Americas and all that. And the man that is viewing all these memories of the SHIELD agent is the Ultimate Universe's maker. So this one was a really good story, but I thought it was kind of it's something that you maybe see at the end of an issue, not something you see inside of an issue like this, like not as a setup like this. But I really do like how they set up. It tells you where all the other books gives you a little glimpse into it. This gives you like what the whole year is going to be, basically. Like, this is what the whole premise of this book is going to be. So I do like that, and that's why I'm giving the story 4.5 stars. The art was kind of off for me. This is the weakest art in the book for me, and is getting 4 stars. I think it was just so much coming at you that the details were lacking in a lot of places, but the art was good. Just, I thought, you know, because Gerardo Sandoval does great art, but I think it could have been a little bit more solid. I just think it was the abundance of images coming at you that all lost some detail. The next story is from the Uncanny Avengers, and the title is The Night That Hell Froze Over. It is written by Gerry Duggan with art by Ryan Stegman. Steve Rogers sends Deadpool on a mission to regain a container of the Terrigen cloud to help Rogue, who seems to be dying from this Terrigen mist cloud that's going around. And in doing so, Deadpool has earned an Avengers card. This one was one of the strongest stories for me other than the main story, because I really felt like this is Steve Rogers. This is a real good premise of what Uncanny Avengers is going to be about. We know that there's a threat to the mutants because of the Terrigen mist. We know that Deadpool is working with Steve Rogers, which we got to see a little bit before, you know, Secret Wars and all that. But we also get to see the big moment that Deadpool becomes an Avenger, and we get to hear it all from his point of view, where he's still the smartass Deadpool that we all know and love, but at the same time, he seems to have grown some from all this. So I think Gerry Duggan did a really great job, and I'm giving it 4.75 stars for the story. The art, Ryan Stegman did a great job on the art. There were times like, I'm not crazy about the way he draws Steve Rogers, because in other instances, Steve Rogers is still virile, and here he's drawn more of that old, you know, old man who can't really do anything action-wise. He's just that, like, almost like a butler type role he's drawn as, and I like him when he's more virile. So the art is getting 4.5 stars. Okay, the final story here is The Ultimates, and the title is The Opposite of Kicking. It is written by Ewing, art by Kenneth Rocafort. The Ultimates welcome America Chavez to the team after she helps to seal the rip in the fabric of space-time left by the being Captain Marvel fought in the A-Force story. Now, the story here I think was the weakest story of all of them, because It's basically, it's a great setup, but I didn't like that, it's basically American Chavez saying, oh, I seal up portals by, being the opposite of kick. I open portals by kicking, and I seal them with the opposite. And her version of sealing up, her way of sealing up this big, rip in space is that she video phones her girlfriend or her date, not even her girlfriend, just some girl she's dating. And she's like dancing with her. She gets reception in space apparently, but she's like dancing with her on a video chat on her phone, and then it seals it up. I thought it was very weak, like it was very corny and cheesy, but it was still cool to see the other characters that she interacted with. So like Blue Marvel, Black Panther, I did get a real sense of the team feel of it behind it all, and we get to know that America Chavez is there for a reason, and she has her own reason too. So I'm giving the story 4 stars. The art was really great. I like the art. Again, not crazy about the America Chavez stuff, but when you get to like Black Panther and Spectrum and Blue Marvel and Captain Marvel, you really see the details in that art, and I love it. So I'm giving the art 4.5 stars. Now, this again wraps around to the beginning with, as I said, the Squadron Supreme are in each and every one of these stories. They're like they're like breakers and between each story. So it comes back to them, and I really like the concept of this book. Like, I really like how they wove it through that main story of the Squadron Supreme and introducing them to them, because one day they might have to take them all out. So overall, I'm giving the overall story 4.5 stars. The art is getting an overall of 4 stars, and the entire book is getting an overall of 4.25 stars. And I recommend you go and pick it up, because I thought it was a really well done book, and it was a great introduction to all the Avengers stuff.